Hockey's back, baby. Let's go.
I think that's the goal there, to be honest. That hockey was phenomenal. All right, Phil Kessel is a Stanley Cup champion once again! I mean, hey, Bruce, there it is. Bruce, there it was. At least it wasn't Adam Fox.
It's two juggernauts just colliding with each other. What?
Weird.
Now we have to deal with another generational talent in Chicago. Root. Welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. I am your co-host, as always, B-Dog. Right beside me, my boy, as always, T-Dog. How we doing today, T-Dog?
Pretty good, buddy. I am pretty good. Round 3 already underway. Pretty good game so far. How are you doing, my good sir?
Pretty good on this side, but like you said, yes, we are on to round 3, and we apologize for being so late. Game 7 kind of messed us up starting on the Monday, and we couldn't really record until the weekend. But now we're here, and now we're at round 3. Obviously, a few games has happened. We are not basing our predictions off of the first 2 games in the conference finals for either side. And honestly, just as we're talking about it, we'll just jump right into it. My Stanley Cup matchup is going to be the Florida Panthers versus the Dallas Stars. And that's my prediction for the Stanley Cup matchup. I'm going to go through each conference and kind of explain why. First matchup, we start with the West. We have the Edmonton Oilers versus the Dallas Stars. Both teams look absolute crazy out there as we speak right now, just looking at how the last 2 games go. But I predicted this to be Dallas in 7 because honestly, we've talked about this from the last round. Dallas is looking like one of the most balanced teams in the league. Jake Onger looks like a man on his head, a man on a mission. You're really noticing those veteran leadership guys on Dallas, like Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, are really playing their role in this series. And you got to give a lot of credit to Wyatt Johnson and Logan Stankoven for such young guys. They're doing spectacular in a playoff setting, especially Johnson, who's I believe leading the team in points. Absolute nuts coming from that guy. And I think personally, Dallas has had the hardest lineup of teams going into round to round so far because they started off with the defending Stanley Cup champions, beat Vegas in 7. Then we move on to round 2. They beat the defending Stanley Cup champions from the year prior, the Colorado Avalanche, in 6. That was a crazy series. We both watched that. So that's a big reasoning of why I think they win it in 7. Edmonton is really reliant on their main stars like McDavid and Draisaitl. You got to give a lot of credit to Zach Hyman, though. He's leading the whole playoffs in goals, which easy tease coming off of McDavid, 100%. And you got to also give it to Skinner. This is really big series for Skinner to see if he could turn it around because you noticed in the few games against Vancouver, he was struggling a little bit, but I think simple enough. I'm going to say Dallas in 7 for this. And then we move to the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. I got Florida in 6 against the Rangers. And the reasoning for that is, dude, Florida is hungry to get back to a finals after the disappointing finals loss last season. And it just makes sense. Tkachuk looks great out there. He's being feisty already in these Rangers games. And you got to give a lot of credit to Barkov as well. Sam Reinhart knows how to score. The defense is playing pretty well, and Bobrovsky's been on his head. It literally just depends if Bobrovsky runs out of gas again or not. He's going to lose another 20 pounds or something like that and run out of gas. Hopefully he doesn't in this series, but yeah, I got Florida and Dallas in my final. T-Dog, I'm curious what you think.
All right, well, no, I get explanations, man. Get explanations. Okay, so for me, I'm going to have to just stick with what my prediction was at the start of the playoffs. And it hurts me to say it right now, just seeing the first 2 games. So far as we record this, 2 games have been played for Dallas Edmonton and as well Florida New York. So that's kind of what we're basing this off of. I'm going to still stick with New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars going to the finals, and I'll give my explanation here. So New York, this is tough to sell right now because, man, the series is tied at home, going home to Florida, 3-0 win shutout. That's crazy. And then an overtime win. So right now, I mean, that Florida is, I would say the favorite team, playing the physical game, firing on all cylinders on the offense, plus of course having that goaltending. It's hard for me not to not say that it'd be Florida instead, but I just think, yeah, you know what, maybe the in New York, as we see the rest of the series, that we're gonna see those big stars come out to play. I think Panarin, as though he hasn't maybe showed it on the score sheet as much as we would hope so. I think that he'll kind of start playing better. Guys like you were just mentioning this before the pod, Vinny Trocheck, who's been a stud, absolute stud. So guys like that, kind of in like your middle six, just have to kind of keep firing on all cylinders as well there. And yeah, Shesterkin to be Igor, simple as that. And I think that's how you kind of win it. This series could go an easy 7. Could go an easy 7. So you know what, we'll take a 7 gamer, maybe an OT 7 game something. Why not? That's very original 6 of some team to do that. So that will be my prediction. Edmonton Dallas. So my idea with this now is you're gonna have to see after the first 2 games. One, if Edmonton keeps playing after game 2 how they played in game 1, they will win the series. Vice versa for Dallas if Dallas plays the game they played for the final 40 minutes of the game 2. So that's how I see it. And for Dallas to win, I mean, I think they're, again, more the most balanced team. The defense looked not shaky for saying game 1, but they were picked apart a little bit, specifically the Lindell-Tanev line or pairing, which is crazy because before that game, they let in 3. They were -3. They were only allowed 2 goals against in the entire playoffs. And funny enough, they break the lineup. I noticed that in the game today, and they played much better. So, if that defense keeps sticking around, which I think it will, then that's going to be some troublesome there for Edmonton. I do have to say, though, too, like one thing I got to shout out is how confident Skinner looks. Probably the most confident I've seen Skinner look, honestly, in the playoffs ever. And that's a great sign. So if that helps, if he sticks with that, especially going home to oil country, Edmonton could squeak a few wins out there, right, and make it their series. But I'm just going to kind of stick with my guns, saying that the defense is just going to, keep playing. I would like to say, Robertson will get a few goals, but I haven't seen that too much for say. But I think they're going to kind of get that scoring when they need it. So I think Dallas is going to take that. It could be another 7 game. I'm going to say 6. But heck, man, if I'm wrong, such is life, right? But that's kind of my prediction with it. And it's tough because I feel like some of my ideas with these predictions I could have said the same thing before the series have started, but with the series starting, it's still hard to kind of pick. Would you agree? Like, when the series are tied 1-1, like both those games, you can see like the strong suits of each team, and if these strong suits overpower the other team, that's what's going to get them over the top.
Before those games started, I was really on the fence of which team personally to choose in this conference finals, but kind of it was nice to see at least just 2 games before we made this, because it kind of give you the strengths and weaknesses on each team as they're playing each other, right? So that was kind of nice to see and have an idea going into this. But now I'm happy with my picks, and this is the only time I'm ever wearing Oilers wear. This is the only reason I'm wearing this is because I don't have anything else Rangers, Dallas, or Florida wise. That's the only reason. So I'm still a Flames fan. Just block that off. All coffee.
Well, me too. I've only worn this a few times. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's ironic because my favorite colors, like personally, is orange and blue. So I like the colors, but that's about it, man. I mean, I don't care. Like,
yeah, fair. But
I mean, watching these series as a bystander is entertaining because you just eat your popcorn. You're like, "Ooh, this is getting good." And everyone's like, "Ah," So that's always fun.
I've never been so happy that my team hasn't been in playoffs.
Dude, if it was like our team in this situation, bro, our blood pressure count would be up.
Ourselves at this point, man. It was already hard enough to watch a round 1 matchup. I can't imagine a conference finals matchup with my team in it. Oh my! I'd be so happy because that's the farthest I've seen them gone. But you know what? That is our 3rd round predictions. I'm super excited for the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm so curious who's going to make the Stanley Cup Finals, and I bet T-Dog is.